I used to just see food as sort of the three main components, which is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Now I see them more as what's the micronutrient composition of food, and the greatest density of micronutrients is within your vegetables. For me, I've been thinking really carefully about this for the last 20 years, like daily journaling about it and doing a lot of research around it, and I've kind of settled on, at a very high level, sort of foundational fasting. So for me, food and nutrition, the starting point is fasting. So for my body and everybody else's, really, there's two states. There's a fasted state and there's a non-fasted state. So I normally start my day and stay fasted until around sort of 2, 3, 4 p.m. And then I normally have a sort of a feeding window, which is quite tight, of maybe sort of 3 hours or so. And then, so when I do break my fast, it's sort of it's a monumental event, and I treat that with a lot of respect, meaning that the order in which I eat my food, and I'll get into the specifics of what that is exactly, but the order in which I eat my food is really important for me. So I normally start with the lowest glycemic index food, or essentially vegetables, and then work my way through. So it's like vegetables, proteins, complex carbohydrates, and then simple sugars. So that will be fruits right at the end, which obviously have fiber in them as well, and that's fine. But what that does is it sort of avoids any kind of insulin spike that you might have in your body, and it sort of really assists with energy levels. The reason for a lot of vegetables is because I used to just see food as sort of the three main components, which is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Now I see them more as what's the micronutrient composition of food, and the greatest density of micronutrients is within your vegetables. So for me, getting as many vegetables in as humanly possible right at the start of the meal, that's kind of what my objective is. And then I'll sort of supplement with, protein powders. Maybe like once a week I'll have a steak. Once a week I'll have some fish. But generally it's sort of pulses, beans, quinoa, a lot of nuts, a lot of seeds, and yeah. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Well, I done 48 hours. Yeah.
48 hours as well.
Yeah. So I do fasts every now and then. Like sometimes 80-hour water fast with electrolytes, no food. So I've just done a 40-hour one. Done one last week. Yeah. So that's just to help reset the gut.
Yeah.
And
everything.
Yeah, your stem cells.
Yeah.
And
because so the body then, once it runs out of food to digest, it starts digesting sort of scar tissue. That's going to be particularly important for you. Yeah, it's a little half dig. Yeah, scar tissue, but also dead brain cells. So you get this sort of real clarity of mind. So for me, starting point is, what can I do fasting wise? And then when I do break my fast, I take that very, very seriously. So it's not just like, oh, let me just have a candy bar. Yeah. I'd never do that. I'd always start my fast break my fast with vegetables.